Hi, my name is Pilman II. Welcome to Rise, Beloved. I'll be talking about a topic that probably millions of people are into at this time, and therefore it's being used, also promoted in so many ways. Sometimes it's helpful, but sometimes it's not. So what is it? Meditation. We will talk about it in such a way that we can maximize this skill for this period of ego meeting soul, of union of the masculine and feminine, of the real conversation that needs to happen between ego and soul. So we'll talk about 6 elements of meditation. These are not steps. I hope it helps. Meditation is a period of introspection. We go within like the ego is soul searching. Always at the beginning or even every time when we enter into meditation, there's always that hesitance, there's uneasiness, restlessness. It's normal because ego is entering into a realm that is new. We spent all our lives with our concentration outside and hardly within. But now it's allowing itself to go within and make way to see the real self. Our real self is soul. So that in meditation, ego meets soul. So when we're able to really get into the groove of meditation, we're no longer soul searching. We're meeting soul and we're now conversing with each other. Ego studying soul, listening, so that you have insights that you don't normally have. It doesn't come from intellectual discourse. It does not come from things that you've studied. It looks like new knowledge because it just emerges so that it feels like channeled. It's a kind of channeling that happens inside you. There's a lot of talk about channeling as getting messages from spirit outside. But then they say that what's within is without. Basic channeling is one that is happening inside. Our ego, our mind, our body, our senses. That's the channel of soul. So meditation in this time of the spiritual awakening, when you have purged, you have healed yourselves for so many years. You have learned so many modalities to heal yourselves. That's energy coming out, negative energies emerging to be released. We've done that for some of us many years. We're now in a different space and it needs a new kind of meditation. One that's more simple, really. And that's what we will be talking about. We talk about meditation in this period of living with soul. In a way, learning the language of soul. Number 1 element is silence. We go into meditation without any tool, just ourselves. There's a saint. By the way, saints, those we call masters, are awakened individuals in the olden times. And they always speak about silence wherever we go, Buddhism, whatever religion. And this is the kind of silence that we're looking for in meditation. At the start, we concentrate on our breathing to bring us to our center. It's the easiest way because our breath is basically soul. Breath is life. So our body relaxes. We've all gone through that training of going to every part of our body to relax it. But when we're used to it, all you have to do is to focus on your breathing. Of course, most of us, for example, myself, I would take that Indian position and an open hand just resting on my knees. And in that position, I could stay for any amount of time. So here, the stress is to not to use tools anymore. As I've mentioned, there's a saint, Saint Teresa of Avila, who said, "Solo Dios basta." God alone is enough. And that's the truth about our soul. Our soul is spark of God. So we are enough. It may have helped us during our healing and purging. For example, guided meditations. They're like way showers. I've started with that. It allowed me to enter into this new space or come back to centering myself. that helped me meet Jesus again, because that has always been what I wanted to do for so many years. But when it happened to me when I was 18, I was told that it doesn't happen on demand. So I thought that, well, it's a special thing. But then in my 40s, I discovered, hey, you can go into that space anytime. So I rediscovered meditation in a new way, and it's guided meditation that helped me. So meaning it's good for beginners or when we want to experience something new. We'll go to the rest of the elements and we'll go back to this idea, why it's important that we go into meditation without the tools, external tools. Intention is the second element that I'd like to talk about. We ask. It could be a longing. It doesn't even have to be expressed verbally. As long as it's in our mind, it may be a thought, it may be a question, a doubt, a longing. As long as we're able to recognize it, then we're asking. We are submitting to it, then we're asking. For example, if you want to be healed about something, you want to get clarification about anything, whatever the nudge is, then you catch it. At this point, I'd like to talk about intuition. That's the third element. Intuition tells us about inspired ideas. And when they arise, in my experience, I would have this warm feeling or heat in my body anywhere. And that's when I would follow it, especially if it's very strong. Definitely, it does not give you negative feeling. You are curious about it. It's something that draws you in and your body feels it. So that's why you will feel this tingling or goosebumps or heat. Fourth element is being in the present. So you are at rest. Many times when I reach this point, the head wiggles and you can't help it. It just happens. Sometimes you have to hold yourself so that you won't really shake that much. So you're there. Just go back and focus on the breathing. And there are times we go into meditation with this very negative or disturbed feeling. Before you transition into that joy or positivity or peace, there's that moment, just a few seconds of neutrality. We're now talking about the fifth element, neutrality. You settle into the nothingness, blank. That's why I would always close my eyes when I meditate, because it's easier to go deeper immediately into the moment, because there's just black. You could almost see light into the darkness, waves of light until you're settled in that. So the feelings are neutral, and then you transition into the positive feeling or steadiness. So at this point, there's no more chatter in the mind. You're aware of the surroundings, you're aware of the body, but nothing happening outside is disturbing you. You enter into the sixth element, which is, I call it alignment with spirit, with soul. That's when the conversation already happens. The healing moments happen in this space. All you have to do is to follow the nudge, the thoughts. You will have images, you have words, you have scenes that are so real that you're captivated by it. You're fully concentrated in the moment and in a reality that's different from outside. You have your own reality happening inside that's much, much more important. So this is when ego is listening to soul. You find yourself having a conversation with soul, with yourself. There's no doubt. There's no fear. There's just a conversation. And you feel overwhelmed. Almost always you are in tears because you couldn't believe that you could have this feeling, and you never get to feel that way with anybody or even with yourself most of the time. But in that moment, you know that. You feel that. And the more you get into that space, you get to learn more about your soul. You get to learn more about your nature, how it feels to be with you. So you get to love yourself more and more. You get to like yourself. You like being with you. And that memory, even when you're outside meditation, that memory stays with you. And that feeling about yourself stays with you. So that's why meditation in silence, without the support of tools that's designed by other people that might have been created with a different intention than what you are supposed to enter into. Even guided meditation, frequency sounds, that becomes a distraction already because soul emerges in silence. That's why it's almost a whisper. I've written poems that are basically whispers. So that's what we're talking about. That's what we're looking for in terms of the texture, the feel of the meditation at this point. What I'm sharing comes from experience, so it's a personal truth. You may resonate with it or not. The decision is ultimately yours. What I can say is that when you choose soul at this point, then come back to meditation. This time, just you, because you are enough. Okay, till next time. I can't promise when, but I think I'll always be back when there is a nudge. Like, for example, this one, it has been so insistent with cell phone bells, with the drapery on the window lighting up with sunshine for a moment, 11:11, 2:22, all these synchronicities coming up. Every time the idea of meditation enters my mind, so that's why I made this. I hope it helped, and I send you love. I send you strength in the purging that needs to happen as we navigate this time. Okay, bye. Thank you for listening. If you're interested in more intuitive poems, there's a book that I just published. It has 75 poems. There are links below in the description box. Feel free to check it out. If the videos are helpful to you, do share it with someone that it will be helpful to. It's like helping others while helping yourself. Okay, that's it for now. Hope to be with you again. Bye. Have a great day.